Mm. I am resident of column for YouTube. Joel says this, my buddy Alan Gallant.
A
We're here to review
zombie.
a
Oh,
zombie.
sorry.
Zombie. I we're here to review I Walked with a Zombie, 1943 movie, directed by Justice Turner, written by Kurt Sudermark, based on I Walked with a Zombie, 1943 book by Innes Wallace, Jane Eyre, 1847 novel by Charlotte Bronte, produced by Val Lewton. Yes, that is why I chose this. Narrated by Frances D. Now, Frances D. is the actress in this movie, so she does the
Hmm.
narration. Cinematographer is J. Roy Hunt. Music by Rory Webb, which was really creepy in this
Yeah, it's good
movie.
music.
Yes. Alan, when did you first see this movie, dude?
I think the entirety of it, I just saw it today. I'd seen bits and pieces. I'd heard about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm a fan of those 30s zombies flicks, like White Zombie's probably the biggest classic one. So, although I prefer that movie overall to this one, I like the gothic tension in this movie. It is classic gothic storytelling, no doubt.
Long, 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 long time ago, long before George A. Romero turned zombies into flesh-eating menaces, uh, zombies were sort of summoned by something to go get somebody or kill somebody. They were sort of to do a voodoo priest or a witch's bidding. And Dark Shadows kind of copies that formula to a degree
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Angelique summons to go zombie Jeremiah, if you will.
Hmm.
The, Judah Zachary summons zombies out the ground to wrestle with Barnabas. Yes, that happens, sort
Yes. Sort of.
of. Yeah, they
Zombie professional wrestlers. Uh,
yeah.
but yes, they definitely do that, and Jeb summons a bunch of them as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So RKO executives, rather than producer Val Lewton, chose the film's title, which was taken from the article of the same title written by Innes Wallace for American Weekly magazine, whereas the article detailed Wallace's experience meeting zombies, but which she meant not in the literal living dead, but rather people she encountered working on a plantation in Haiti. So this isn't, again, this is taken from different contexts,
Yeah.
whose vocal cords and cognitival abilities had been impaired by drug use. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the way. That's typically, if the Serpent and the Rainbow. That's how they make
Yeah,
zombies. They use them. They get them on these drugs.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly the plot of Serpent and the
Mm.
Rainbow, too.
Yeah.
Uh, Wes Craven, we were talking about for recording. So Francis D was not the initial choice for this. Anna Lee was originally slated for the role. Ultimately, Francis D. repaired. Francis D. received $6,000 for her performance. No, I'm not shitting anybody.
That's nothing to sneeze at back
No.
in 43. I mean, 42, 43. That's okay. That's a pretty good payday.
Our zombie, Darby Jones, really good in this movie, was
Hmm.
paid a base on his weekly contract salary, $450, $75, totaling $225 for his 3 days of work. So yeah, he was a stunt man in this
Yeah.
movie, basically. I mean, it's a stunt
That
man.
man who had eyes that he could basically pop his eyes, literally. It's like
Yes, yes.
wow.
What do you think of this story now?
The story itself is a gothic romance. It really is. There's a love interest. There's there's the hopeless case of the previous wife and the conflict. They're falling in love with each other, but she's still around. Um, and it's not totally clear how this happened. It's supposed
Mm.
to be a fever that caused her problems. Maybe she got encephalitis, or maybe something else happened. But then the locals, as she's up and about, the locals get all excited and disturbed about her and decide that she's a zombie and she needs to come home to the rest of to the voodoo priest and all of this other stuff. Um, the um, the mother of one of the brothers Well, actually, she's the mother of both of them. She was
Yeah,
married to two different guys. Is she's a strange one. She's friendly and everything, wonderful, but she also she's got her hands in this voodoo stuff somehow. So you've got a lot of different weird things. She turns out she's okay, but she shows up. She's in the village when all this voodoo ceremony's going on. So that's kind of weird and scary. Um, but it's very classic Gothic, and our heroine is the nurse, of course,
yeah,
uh, and she's been placed in this adventure, and she's a person that wants to help and do all these things, and ultimately it works out because the woman is released from her, her sort of life as a sort of a zombie, and she dies, and the two of them get together at the end of it. So it's sort of a happy ending Gothic um, thing, and for anybody who wants to watch this, if you like mood
hmm,
and all of that sort of thing, this is a movie that you should watch. It's not really a horror movie. There's
no,
some spooky moments in it, but it's very gentle that way, and it's just this growing mystery of what the connection is between all these people and why um, that's going on. I found it interesting that the brother, the alcoholic brother, is the one that saves her from becoming a real zombie by taking her into the water, basically. So,
yeah,
but he dies. He sacrifices his life so that she can just be at peace, I guess, typically. They drag him out of the water, but they're completely dead, so they can't be turned into zombies. Ha ha ha. That sort of thing. Or at least that's I think that's the sort of aesthetic they're going for here at the end of
no,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Uh, some familiars here. Tom Conway, who plays Paul Holland,
Hmm.
was actually in another Val Lewton movie, Seventh Victim, which we covered on this channel.
He did a lot of work in this era. He was very popular actor.
Mhm. Absolutely. James Bell is also another Val Lewton favorite. He was in The Leopard Man.
Mhm.
Um, if you've never seen it, I won't spoil it, but it's a very good mystery movie, and that's what it is.
Mhm.
um, he played. Now it's interesting because he plays a doctor in this movie, and he plays a doctor in the other movie, but a different kind of doctor. I won't spoil it, but he's a very good character in this movie. Very interesting because he's the doctor. I mean, Frances D's just the nurse. She's just overlooking this. I will
Mhm.
say, it does it feel like there's things missing from this movie, though I like it. Yes, because you get the sense that the Voodoo tribe, it feels, and the village around it seem to have issues with the Holland family and the Rand family,
Mhm.
and they don't really capitalize on that in this movie to a degree.
They don't. I would think that it would have something to do with the past as plantation owners, and of course, the black population used to be slaves.
Yeah,
So it might, yeah, they might have tension there.
yeah, but I do.
But you're right; they don't develop it the way they ought to.
Right. They do get the tension somewhat across with the music that I like,
Mhm.
but they don't fully capitalize on it.
Right. This movie is very short. It's only an hour and 10 minutes long. It could
I
have
know.
stood to be an hour and 30 minutes long, I think, and have
Yeah.
some more development of certain things. But, it is what it is, and it's kind of a fun mood piece, and it's an easy watch. So,
Yeah. James Ellison's Wesley Rand is, I mean, his sacrifice at the end is just
yeah,
pure insanity.
yeah,
I mean, he goes off the deep end for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And in a lot of ways, I think this movie gets across why. Like, there's always been this haunting around their family that, okay, no matter who we love is going to end up this way.
right.
And Paul Holland is a very blunt man. Like, he doesn't believe in all this superstitious mumbo
Hmm.
jumbo. He'll tell you, well, yeah, the stars die here too. It's just part of the culture.
Right.
But he's not. He's also a direct businessman too. he's not a dick as Roger is when you first meet Roger Collins. He's no
No,
Roger
no, but
Collins.
he is a bit of a dick at first.
At first, yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Because Francis D's Betsy Connell is a stranger to the island. He's like dashing her hopes and shit. It's like,
Hmm.
damn, dude, like take down the temperature.
Yeah, yeah. It
uh,
turns out he's afraid because he thinks that everybody. It's almost like the Angelique curse. Everybody that he loves has to die or be
right.
suffering or something.
Yeah, he's superstitious in that sense,
Yeah, yeah.
where it's hey, everybody who seems to love me, something happens to him.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, really, when you look at James Ellison, the ending of James Ellison and his wife at the time, I mean, is he really wrong? It's like, and you can have that sort of debate of it
Right.
because they both die at the end. I mean, they both
Hmm.
get killed, which is really, really like it's a bit jarring, but it's like it's shocking that that happens
Hmm.
because you're not expecting. Like when I first watched this and rewatched it, it's like, man, James Ellison and Leslie Rand. It's shocking what he does.
Yeah, it is. It's it makes sense when you reflect on it, but at the first
Mhm.
time you see it, it's like you know. So it took
Yeah,
me a little while, and I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe he's was obsessed with Jessica as anybody, and I think he might have been, and so the only way he could save her is to be with her, and also keep the the voodoo people from turning her into a full blown zombie. You know.
this would actually see this here should have been the premise for Strange Paradise. This this
Yeah.
this here,
Yeah.
this story, meaning I walk with it, not
Yeah.
specifically just I walk with a zombie,
No, but the elements of this
the
story.
elements of it,
Yeah.
um, because you have two brothers who are stepbrothers who are two different dads, or sorry, same mom, two different
Same one, two
dads,
different dads. Yeah.
and you have a potential of a tribal. Now again, they don't expose the full tribal conflict of this. You get a hint that there's tension. Uh, I love the culture difference. You do get the tribe in
Yeah.
this. You do get the zombie, very creepy camera
Yeah,
works.
it's South Sea Island stuff.
Yeah,
That's the culture that the voodoo culture, the Santeria, all of that stuff. That's where the original zombie stuff comes from.
yeah.
So and that adds to the spooky mystery of everything, of course, especially at the time back in the 40s when people weren't as exposed to other cultures. That would have been
It
exotic and
it
spooky.
would be nice to see sort of the zombies go back to sort of this usage because we haven't seen it in like forever.
No, not
So
well. I mean, Serpent and the Rainbow is the last
yeah,
big movie I think that where we see that type of zombie in it.
yeah,
So,
and it works in that movie so
oh
well.
yeah, oh yeah,
Um, by the way, we covered this here. This is a revisited tour, by the way. I want to give a
yeah,
shout out to Butch Rosenbaum, who did this movie with me way back when.
yeah,
So, but yeah, it's the, the movie's atmosphere is beautiful, creepy, eerie. It's everything a gothic romance should be, and it leaves you asking questions, which I don't mind. It's like, okay, what did happen to this woman? Did she just get fever and this happened to her?
or was she charmed?
Or was
Yeah,
she charmed? They don't answer that
no,
fully
they
in this
don't.
movie.
They don't. So you don't know whether it's voodoo or a scientific explanation.
And you get the sense from Paul Holland that he's saying, hey, everything that comes to Saint Sebastian ends up in misery. And
Yeah,
it's like, wait, why?
right.
Talk to me about that for 10
He's the,
seconds.
he's the tortured romantic figure,
He
the
is.
Byron figure kind of guy. So,
You know who I'd like to see play Paul Holland if they ever did this again? I'd like to see Hugh Laurie play Paul Holland.
oh, that'd be cool.
That'd
Yep.
be nice.
Yep.
But yeah, and if you're looking for like his like sort of half brother, maybe have an American play Wesley, uh, um, Rand, somebody
Yep.
who's a little not so much as known as Hugh Laurie, but yeah, who's the one guy I was thinking of? Oh, the guy who was from we covered him up here. Shit. I think you did this with us. It was the I'm trying to think. It was with those that reporter guy who played Dan. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Um,
Or no? Sorry.
no, I'm not sure.
Okay, but yeah, I forget the name of it now that we played, who he played, but that actor have it because it's his half brother or whatever, and
Yeah,
have him be an African American man because and have that conflict.
sure.
That would be interesting. That
Yes.
would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part of this movie is the sort of build up to when we actually get to see the voodoo milieu. We get to see the village. We get to see the um, the fateful zombie servant. Finally, there he is. An actual zombie, and that also deepens the mystery. What's the connection here, and all of this sort of thing. So I like that whole thing. And I'm sure that audiences were wowed by that because again, back then a lot of people, film goers in the United States, hadn't had a lot of other cultural experience. So the South Seas was exotic and mysterious and scary and all of this, with all of this stuff. So yeah, that's my favorite because that really sort of soaks you in that mood, if you will.
Yeah, you and I have the same favorite part because it's
Hmm.
the other side of the culture of this. Because
Hmm.
it's like, were you going to get that? Because you do get the sense of, okay, the island has a problem with the brothers somewhat, and then you do get the other side of the culture. You get the voodoo tribe with the zombie. But I got to give credit to Darby Jones as the zombie.
Hmm.
Great job.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's the that's the kind of zombie you and I both prefer. Ultimately, we like flesh-eating zombies too in certain
Yeah,
movies, but this is the classic. This is,
it's
I
if
think the
there's
first zombie movie I ever saw was White Zombie back on as a kid on television on like
I,
Saturday movies.
White Zombie actually aired on two different stations on the same night, and that's how I
Hmm.
caught it. It aired on AMC at 1 a.m. And because I used to stay up real late as a kid, my mom wanted to choke me. And I came on literally like a couple hours later, and I stayed up and rewatched it again on TCM. And my mom comes and she goes, "If you don't go to bed,
Yeah, it's
don't
probably
do that, kids.
no.
Don't do that,
Just
kids."
like probably freak thought you were gonna have nightmares and things, because you watched that movie twice.
My mom's like,
Hmm.
she's just shaking her head. It's all
Yeah.
your fault, Mom. It's all your fault. No, I'm kidding. It's my fault. I shouldn't have did that. But I did enjoy White Zombie's a good movie. So
Hmm.
we'll have to cover it on here for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, I give this movie an 8.5. We give it.
Yeah, I do. I would give it right around that
Yeah.
eight and a half. It's just it's different. It's just a different taste. It's like the difference between vanilla and chocolate. When you can enjoy both. And I certainly did enjoy this movie. It's just not typical horror movie. That's all. It's It's a
That,
different animal. It's a gothic.
that, that's the thing when you get it. For those who don't know, me and Alan have watched a lot of old shit.
Yes, we have. Oh
Actually,
shit is good shit.
that's right. It is. Like when you get in stuff from the 30s and 40s, you're going to run into this sort of culture thing here where it's a zombie isn't eating flesh. Now, we like flesh eating zombies too. Like when I saw Return of the Living Dead, even though I'd seen George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead,
Hmm.
that was even a different contrast to what George did.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, George's Night of the Living Dead did not have comedy in,
No.
but I mean, Return of the Living Dead
Yes.
had a mixture of comedy and horror, and it's like when you see that when I first saw the Tar Man, that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Sure. Sure.
And then when they're saying, "Mister, there's 100 of them things out there," 100, the that's hilarious because it's the absurdity of it.
Hmm.
Oh God.
It's like a
Um,
scene from Deliverance or something, you know.
yeah. I have a working theory on Deliverance. I'll have to debate
Hmm.
that, guys, one day. I believe Deliverance is a spy movie. Uh, you guys will have to convince me I'm wrong.
Okay, I have to go
Because
back and watch it again now.
yeah, I have a working
Been a
theory
while.
on was it Burt Reynolds' character.
Uh-huh.
It's interesting. You guys might get a kick out of it.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so we'll definitely have to do Deliverance one day. We have other. I watched the movie you recommend. That movie was intense, dude.
Hmm.
We're discussing that one tomorrow, I think. If I'm
Which
not
one is
mistaken.
that?
Oh, hold on, sorry. The one with Steve Martin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Right.
That one's tomorrow, right?
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, yeah,
Grand
yeah,
Canyon. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
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 if you want to do that tomorrow night, we can do that
yeah, yeah,
tomorrow night.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Okay. Just let Patrick know. I'm sure
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
want to be there for that.
yeah. We'll do Grand Canyon. I'll message Patrick. I got to go back and listen to the Zelda stuff you
Hmm.
guys sent me. I forgot to listen to. I was busy all
Hmm.
day. But yeah, this movie is really interesting. Go check it out. It's free to go watch. I own the Blu-ray. It's really good. Or sorry, the Criterion
Yep.
service. Really good. I own most of the Valley and stuff, and that includes the not just Cat People, which is my favorite Valley produced movie,
Hmm. And
but
we have reviewed that one, so
we
yeah.
we reviewed that in the remake. But Leopard Man, which is not a sequel to Cat People, but it may
No.
have. It should have been. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you that right now. Oh, that should have been teased. But yeah. Let's see. Is there anything you want to add before we go?
Nope. I just if you like mood pieces, this is a good one.
Absolutely, it is. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Colin Sport After Dark, has been in the description box. And even though they could not join us, Patrick McCrae's Dark Shadows, Dave Broken Bounds is going to be in the description box, and Christine Pierce's Between the Shadows of Dark Shadows podcast is going to be in the description box. So go check those out. Alan, man, you have a safe night. Take
All
care,
right,
dude.
man. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yep.